Welcome to New Zealand. Thanks for joining me. Hey, listen, just before I get started on this episode, I just want to give a huge shout out to all the people that have bought my book this week. If you've been following the vlog and you watched the last episode, you'll know that I released my photo book, Stolen Moments, and the response was just incredible. Kind of blew me away, really. I really appreciate it. It means a lot when you do things like that. You never know whether they're going to be successful or not, and in this case it was very successful. So just thank you to everybody that's bought that book, and if you haven't bought a copy already and you'd like to, link up here, go and check out that link. That'll take you to my website, and you can purchase a book of Stolen Moments if you would so like to do so. On to this week's episode. Well, where do I start? I want to start talking about this camera. This is my Leica M6, and the whole, the title of this episode is kind of like where my Leica takes me, really. And last week when I was kind of doing some work on it to try and finish off this episode, I just sat there and I thought to myself, if it wasn't for photography and cameras and this camera, I wouldn't be doing stuff like this. And I just thought to myself, I'm kind of getting taken on a journey with this camera and my cameras to places that I would never go to, or I would never have been to unless I had them. And I'm kind of grateful for that. So on to this episode today. This episode, a mate of mine needs some help, and I'm not going to beat around the bush. He needs a lot of help. And I'm hoping that after this vlog is aired and people have watched it, that we can help this guy, because he needs it. Reid is a 4-year-old boy, and 8 months ago I was contacted by his mum, Emma Lovett. Reid suffers from cerebral palsy, and unfortunately he can't walk. His long-term kind of outlook on life is that he probably will be in a wheelchair, or maybe at best he'll have to walk with the aid of crutches or a walking stick. Like I said, Reid is 4 years old, and his mum's fighting really hard to get him over to the United States to have some special surgery. And like I said, Emma contacted me 8 months ago because I reached out to the community and was looking for stories for my vlog, and Emma contacted me and said, well, I think this could be an interesting story. Emma was in the process of raising money for Reid to try and get him to the United States. She was trying to get surgery at St. Louis Hospital in the USA with a Dr. Park. And at the point when I first met her, she hadn't actually been accepted into surgery, so she was still going through the process of application and trying to find money to get there. Anyway, I started the project. The idea was that we were going to shoot stuff on film. It was going to be part of my analog portrayal series. Anyway, long story short, the project kind of got shelved. Anyway, last week I was driving around and I stopped for lunch somewhere, and I picked up my phone, and Emma had put a message on Facebook saying that she had been given the opportunity to have the surgery in St. Louis. Somebody had cancelled, and she had to pretty much make a life-changing decision for Reid to either accept or decline the surgery. She accepted. Unfortunately, although the fundraising's gone really well, they still don't have enough money to get Reid over there. So I just thought to myself, because it's been bugging me. Like I say, I started this whole vlog, this piece of work 8 months ago, and it's been really bugging me that I haven't finished it. I hate starting things that I don't finish. It really bugs me, those sorts of things. So it had been a bit of a monkey on my back, I guess. So when I got this message last week, it was like, now it's time to get this thing finished. Get my ass into gear. Excuse my French, and get this thing underway. Get some help for Reid. Emma made it really clear when I first met her that she didn't want this to be about a fundraising kind of video for Reid. This project wasn't about fundraising for Reid, which I totally respect, and I think that's a big thing. it's been my decision to kind of use it as a piece to get these people some help, because I need to get help and I need to get it quickly. So I just thought to myself that maybe I can do something here, do something good. And my subscribers, the people that follow me weekly, the people that'll be watching this video, look, maybe we can help this kid, and maybe we can make a difference to his life through photography, through this camera. Wouldn't that be cool? And I just kind of thought to myself, well, on average I get between 5, 10 or 15,000 views on a video. And I just thought, wouldn't it be cool if everybody that watched this video could donate $5, $5. What's $5? A roll of film, or maybe 2 rolls of film, $10. If we have 5,000 views on this, and everybody that views this video donates $5, that's $25,000, 25 New Zealand dollars, 25,000 New Zealand dollars. So wouldn't that be cool? So I just want to put it out there. Hey, turn off if you want to, and if this is kind of like stretching the boundaries of what I do with my vlog, I don't care. I think this one's a special one, so I think we should just like make a special exception in this case. So anyway, doing some research to this, I came across a couple of pieces, and one piece in particular that TV New Zealand put out about a year ago on the surgery, because I just wanted to kind of like qualify what I was hearing from Emma, and just like do some research myself, and just see how successful these surgeries have been. Anyway, luckily I came across a piece that TVNZ filmed last year, and what I want to do is I want to play that piece for you, or parts of that piece, so you can kind of have a look at and get more of a background story on what it is that Reid and Emma, what Emma's trying to fundraise for, and how this will change Reid's life. So take a look at this piece from TVNZ, and when we come back, we'll look at Emma's story a bit more in depth, and we'll look at some photography. We'll have a look at my photography and the stuff that I shot on film for this. So check this piece out, and we'll be back in a second.
This is a lovely, lovely story about a doctor who is making a difference to children with spastic cerebral palsy.
It's a debilitating condition, and an increasing number of parents are looking overseas for surgery that isn't available here. They reckon they've found the answer in a neurosurgeon from St. Louis. Here's Michael Holland with the story.
This is them, and this is the feeling of being free.
You can do this, guys. You're nearly there. Do not give up. I repeat, do not give up. This is me.
These fall down, get straight back up again youngsters, all living with cerebral palsy, and all revelling in vastly improved movement after surgery in the United States.
I couldn't even walk. I couldn't even move one leg at all. And now look at us walking, and it's so good.
7-year-old Carly, the first of more than 20 New Zealand children to have been operated on by paediatric neurosurgeon Dr. T.S. Park in St. Louis.
This isn't miraculous. It feels like it, but it's a doctor doing his job.
I'm not all tangled up anymore.
And every day you're getting stronger.
Yeah, pretty much.
That progress clear to see, from the park to the parquet, on the doctor's first visit here to catch up with his New Zealand patients.
If they can walk independently after the surgery, the vast majority of them maintained independent walking.
Well done, guys. You did really well, and I'm so proud of you.
10 out of 10?
Yep, 10 out of 10.
Dr. Park performing delicate surgery on the spine, severing sensory nerves that are overstimulated, causing muscles and tendons to constrict and tighten, known as spasticity.
This is the only surgery that can remove the spasticity permanently. If they did not have a surgery, some of them would have been in the wheelchair by this time.
Would be in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
He's changed her life. You get rid of that overstimulation, everything can relax, and you can concentrate on growing muscles and walking rather than being constantly in pain and twisted and tense.
absolutely a no-brainer. Prognosis was that she would live life in a wheelchair.
But as always, with procedures not available or accepted by some members of the medical establishment here, the surgery comes with a hefty price tag, up to $120,000.
Normal, like the other people. Normal.
And how sweet is that?
Very cool.
I think your group of friends are pretty special.
Special to me and you. We did real good.
This is me.
Yeah, you did do real good. Wasn't that amazing, the difference? That the prognosis either in a wheelchair or walking freely like that, just absolutely incredible.
It was very, very cool.
Yeah, so we had been trying to have a baby for quite some time, so it was a couple of years of trying, and then when we found out that we were pregnant, we were obviously ecstatic after a few years.
So he was premature, right?
He was premature, yep. We didn't lose him, kept him in for another month. He was born at 28 weeks, and then he was in NICU for a couple of months. Breathing assistance and lots of other issues, medical issues in there with feeding and things like that. Fortunately for us, we found out early, so we could start therapies and looking at alternatives for him early and help him as best we could. So yeah, I am actually quite happy that we found out early. So at the moment, the muscles are really tight and it pulls the legs instead of the muscles aren't listening or it don't get the right signals from the brain, so they're always tight, so they're almost, some muscles are bullying other muscles so that you can't get the right movement.
So is it quite painful for him?
It can be.
Walk normally?
It can be
painful.
painful.
To try to walk, and so it's a pain thing as well. Is it? The fact that he can't do it? Is it?
Look, these kids actually have a really high pain threshold, so it's really hard to see to know when they are in pain. Sometimes, for example, with him, one time he ended up in hospital in so much pain, but it wasn't until we were almost in the ambulance with him to take him to hospital, that's when he was like, I'm sore. So about 2.5 years ago, we found out about SDR surgery over in America with Dr. Parks and treating the spasticity in children with cerebral palsy. So we looked into that a little bit more. We weren't too sure because we thought it was quite, it's big, it's major, it's major. And it wasn't done in New Zealand. But the more we looked into it and the more we read about the good outcomes and the studies that have been done and the fact that Reid would fit the criteria, we thought actually we need to give him this chance. We need to do everything we can to give him the quality of life that he should have. So we looked into that, and about a year later we decided we need to do this process. So we sent all the paperwork over there and his videos, and that was assessed, and they came back and said yes. So yeah, but almost a year ago now we decided that we'll make the big jump and focus all our attention on what we need to do, especially because we're hoping for Reid to have the surgery before he turns 5 and goes to school and delay that. So we started it, and it was having to ask people for help. It's not what we used to. We were always very private, and we've kept everything private for a long time. A lot of people didn't actually even know that Reid had cerebral palsy until then. Why would we chuck a label in there for people when actually he didn't need one at the time, because it wasn't obvious. So for us to ask for help financially, that was really difficult for us. So just to get us over there and pay the bill. The bill is $85,000 New Zealand dollars, and but we're looking at about 25 for flights, accommodation, so we need to be there for 6 weeks.
So it's over 100,000.
Over 100,000, and then that's not including the ongoing rehab therapy costs afterwards.
So you've obviously been fundraising now for over a year?
Almost a year,
And so you've managed to, obviously it's been pretty successful.
Yeah, it has been. So we've been doing events and selling things, and people have been putting events on for us and helping us out in that. And we've used it towards doing some therapy. So we've been accepted for surgery in August. It's very short notice. Gives us about 2 months, well at the time about 6 weeks, 8 weeks to figure out whether we could do it. And yeah, just now it's been boom all of a sudden.
So you're going regardless?
We're going regardless. You're not 100% sure
how you're going to make it happen.
how we're going to make it happen. But I've got faith.
You have to make that decision, eh?
Yeah,
you have to make that decision.
Got to. And I have to have faith that that's the right, and I don't, and I've always trusted my gut.
Yep.
And my gut tells me to do it.
Yep.
And it's left us about 60,000 short,
yeah.
Just to pay the medical bill and get over there. Yeah. And that's no luxuries included in that at all. So we've been transparent with what we've done. We've been to the bank, we've tried to remortgage our house, we're trying to scrape together as much as we can, but unfortunately we're not well off. Yeah. Our families are not well off. Yeah. So it's actually just not that easy just to access that kind of money.
Yeah. So how's from a local community perspective, how's that, how it's
blown away, absolutely blown away by our community lately. Yeah. There's no words. Yeah, they've just been amazing. The love that we have felt just in this last week, just incredible. Yeah, absolutely incredible. Yeah. And some of the people that we've met that have come into our lives just recently, that we feel like we've known for years, just amazing. Cool. Yeah, couldn't thank them enough.
Excellent.
Yeah, and we'll be paying it forward when we can. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Again, I hope I'm not out of line, with what I'm doing this week with my vlog. But I think it's a good cause, and I think if you can't help people with what you do, and we all do different things in life. And for me, my calling is photography, and if I can help somebody with my photography, I think that makes it even more powerful. So, like I said before, I hope you can help Reid. If you could donate $10, 20 or 50, because remember, this is New Zealand dollars. So if you're in the US and Europe, just half it. So like 10 New Zealand dollars is $5. So donate 2 rolls of film, $10 US, 20 New Zealand dollars. And if we could get like 1,000 people donating $20, I mean, that's 20 grand, which is a big chunk of the money that Emma needs to get Reid over there. So that would be super cool. Would really appreciate it. There's links below for Reid's Steps for Reid. That's what you want to look for, Steps for Reid. Check out Reid's website. I'll give a direct link to the donation page. Go and check it out. I'll put some more links there on Reid. You can check out a little bit more about Reid, see what he's been up to, Facebook page, Instagram, and all that sort of stuff. You can go and check him out. Go and like and follow and all that sort of stuff. And you know, this is the start of the story, or you know, we're not far down the track of the story. We'll hopefully come back with another episode, and we can see the fruits of our labour. Hopefully, so I'm hoping that we can help these guys out. I'm going to sign off now because I've talked enough this week, so we don't want this episode dragging on. Listen, thanks for joining me. Like I said, hopefully you can help Reid out. I'd really appreciate it. We'll see you again next week. Until then, haere rā from New Zealand, goodbye and take care.